Back. It may sound like a horror film, but it's a documentary about a serious problem in some areas, especially the Deep South. Cody joins us with more on rodents.
That's
of
right.
Unusual Size.
Rodents of Unusual Size. We get Quinn Costello to tell us about the movie. Now, Quinn, I grew up in the South, and I saw The Princess Bride. And when they had the Rodents of Unusual Size, all of us in the theater went, "Hey, that's Nutria. That's a Nutria right there."
Yes. Yeah, I know. That was like the first real documentary about the subject, you know.
So why did you guys take on Nutria as a subject?
I mean, you know, when we first heard about this phenomenon of the Nutria, we just couldn't quite get it out of our heads. It wasn't just the aspect that there were these 20-pound swamp rats running around Louisiana, but it was more about the way that people were dealing with it. The idea that, you know, the state was hiring Cajuns and paying them $5 a tail to go out and hunt them. And then the fact that people were eating them, and the fact that people were like wearing them as for their new lines of fashion and everything. And we were just like, I want to meet the people that are involved in this.
I don't blame you at all. Oh, they're huge. They are huge. Yeah. You know, when I was down, the 49ers were in the Super Bowl, went down to New Orleans, and I was at a fancy restaurant. I will not name the fancy restaurant, but they had Nutria on the menu.
Oh, my gosh.
And people were like, well, that sounds fancy. And I'm like, don't eat that. It's swamp rat. It's swamp rat.
Yeah.
Have you tasted it?
It's a very divisive meat, you know what I mean? I mean, the people that love it, and the people that are scared of it are scared of it, and it's like, it's seldom do the two kind of mix and mingle. I've eaten it a number of different times, and I have to say, it's really not bad. It's like a lean alternative to, I don't know, chicken or rabbit or something like that, you know? But it all depends on who's cooking it. I tried to make it into a jambalaya, and that I just have no business as someone who's not from Louisiana getting anywhere near a jambalaya.
What did you learn about these swamp rats? Anything that struck you as weird? Yeah.
Well, I learned about them in you know, about 2012. I was in New Orleans hanging out with a friend and his wife, and she had just gotten the job eradicating them around Lake Pontchartrain. And she explained her job, and I asked her to just kind of explain it over and over and over again, because being from the West Coast, it was the strangest thing I had ever heard, you know? And so, yeah, she was the one who kind of told me about it, and it just got inside of my brain. And
is there anything good about a Nutria?
Yeah, well, they make relatively decent pets, not in that they're friendly or easy to maintain as a pet, but that they kind of will hold a grudge for you, and they're kind of like an attack dog. And their temperament is, I mean, they're just, in Argentina, they are fine, you know? They live and coexist in their natural environment. It's just when they're, as an invasive species, brought here, that they kind of thrive and multiply and become this kind of this gigantic problem. You know?
Yeah, and we got them now around Sacramento. But down in the Delta, we're seeing these things all over the place.
It's crazy, and they're going there. They've been looking to Louisiana for solutions as to how to deal with all of these new swamp rats that are out here on the Delta, and it's difficult because we don't quite have the hunting culture out here that they do down there. And so it's a lot of the same conflicts that we explore in the film, where, you know, there's an animal rights movement that I generally, you know, support. But, you know, when it comes to these invasive rodents, there has to be some kind of push and pull. And so, there's some kind of unfortunate things you have to do to control the population. So California's trying to find that right balance.
Real quick, we got to go. But where can we find the movie? Where can we download it? Where can we see it?
You can stream it on Amazon, and you can download it from Apple, and you can also check out Canopy.
Fantastic. Thank you very much for joining us. You got any new films coming out? What are you working on now?
Working on a documentary called Jack Has a Plan, and that should be out probably in the next 3-4 months.
All right. I'll be on the lookout. We'll do this again, man. That was fun. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Quinn. Nutria, John's worst nightmare.
I'm traumatized right now.
They're huge, man. 20-pound rat.